Welcome to Session 2. This session will focus on recapping the number skills required for Level 1 Functional Mathematics. This is Section 1. The aims of this section are to understand and be able to use whole numbers, to recognise and be able to use negative numbers in practical contexts, to understand how to add, subtract, multiply and divide whole numbers using a range of methods, to understand how to multiply and divide whole numbers by 10 and 100 using mental arithmetic. Let's start by looking at whole numbers and recapping place value. For example, the KC Stadium has a capacity of about 25,000. So what does capacity mean? It means the number of people the stadium can hold. The question wants us to write 25,000 in figures. To do this, we need to know what each part of the number is worth. Looking at the table, we can see that we have 2 10,000s and 1 5,000. No hundreds, no tens, and no units. So 25,000 is written as 25000. The next topic we are looking at is negative numbers. Look at the thermometer. The scale is marked from -40 to +40 degrees Celsius. Two temperature readings have been marked, -4 and -8. These are the temperatures taken in Hull and Moscow. The question wants to know if the temperature in Moscow was -8 degrees and the temperature in Hull was -4 degrees, which city had the lower temperature? -8 is less than -4, so -8 is colder than -4. So the answer is Moscow had the lower temperature. In functional mathematics, you need to understand when to add, subtract, multiply and divide whole numbers. Example 1. There are 13 drills on the shop shelf. There are 24 more in the storeroom. How many does the shop have altogether? This requires addition. 13 plus 24 equals 37 drills. Example 2. There are 48 sets of handles in a box. The shop sells 39 of the sets. How many sets does the shop have left? This requires subtraction. 48 minus 39 equals 9 sets. Example 3. The shop buys 5 cases of screws to sell. In each case there are 48 boxes of screws. How many boxes of screws are there in 5 cases? This requires multiplication. 48 times 5 equals 240 boxes. Example 4. The shop puts 72 tins of paint into 6 displays. How many tins will be in each display? This requires division. 72 divided by 6 equals 12 tins. It is important that you read the question carefully before you decide which operation you will use to solve it. When multiplying and dividing numbers by 10, we can use the place value table to do this effectively. To multiply 75 by 10, we move the number one place to the left and add a 0. This gives us the answer 750. So 75 times 10 equals 750. To then multiply 750 by 10, we move the number one place to the left and add a 0. This gives us the answer 7,500, and so on. To divide 47,000 by 10, we move the number one place to the right, and the last digit moves below the decimal point. This gives us the answer 4,700. Therefore, 47,000 divided by 10 equals 4,700. To divide 4,700 by 10, we move the number one place to the right, and the last digit moves below the decimal point. This gives us the answer 470, and so on. Let's put that into practice. The question states the shop sells packets of drill bits. There are 6 drill bits in each packet. How many drill bits are there in 100 packets? What operation do we need to solve this question? We need to use multiplication. 6 times 100. Multiplying by 100 is very similar to multiplying by 10, except this time we move the number 2 places to the left instead of 1. The answer is 6 times 100, which equals 600. The question states, a company has to pack 6,543 clamps into boxes. The company can pack 10 clamps into each box. How many boxes does the company need? 6,543 divided by 10. This gives us 654.3. The answer is not a whole number, so we need to think about it a bit more. The company needs to pack all of the clamps, so 654 boxes will not be enough. There will be 3 clamps left over. They will need 655 boxes. Let's recap section 1. Are you able to understand and use whole numbers? Can you recognize and use negative numbers in practical contexts? Do you understand how to add, subtract, multiply and divide whole numbers using a range of methods? Do you understand how to multiply and divide whole numbers by 10 and 100 using mental arithmetic? If you are still unsure, watch the video through again and practice the examples. Remember, if you still have questions or need help, please ask me in class or email me.